cliffhangers are killing me! Yo, this episode of Noragami Aragoto, episode 12, was fucking great. Like, some god tier type stuff. Like, let's be real here. This whole season of Noragami has been god tier. Like, it really freaking has. And I can honestly say 100%, and I bet a lot of you will agree with me on this, this season of Noragami just completely annihilates season 1. Like, it really does. And personally, I love the hell out of season 1. And just to say that this season of Noragami has surpassed season 1 by like a shit ton really says a lot on how just truly great this season of Noragami has been, and just how well Bones has worked with it. Just episode after episode after episode, it just gets better and better and better. And don't even get me started on the cliffhangers. My god, just another one this week. You saw me at the beginning of the video. Just the cliffhangers kill me. They really do. Just at the end of this episode, the cliffhanger, just seeing Ebisu's face, his look in his eyes, just seeing the look in Yato's eyes, and then it ends. Like, how can you do this to us with the pacification circle just under him? You saw it. We all saw it. And the preview for the finale, I think there are definitely going to be a ton of feels, but I think we'll end off on a happy note. I'm honestly predicting that Ebisu is going to pass away. He was saved once in this episode by Bishamon. He was saved twice by Yato. And you know what they say, third time's the charm. I think Heaven's punishers will get him for the third time, and he will pass away. So we will definitely get some feelings with that. The heartstrings will be tugged, because I think a lot of us have become connected with Ebisu, even though he was just introduced in this arc. I think a lot of us have grown connected to him. I really have. Like, I love him. At first when he was introduced, I didn't really like him, but I definitely have came connected with him, and they did a terrific job with that, because if he does pass away, which I'm predicting he will, I'm going to feel it. I really am, and I bet a lot of you are too if he is to pass away. But man, this episode, a lot of emotion, a lot of stuff going on. We still had Yato and Bishamon down in the underworld fighting off against Izanami, while above ground we still had everyone trying to find out a way to actually get them out of the underworld. Which, with last week's episode and how it ended, the cliffhanger, of course, Ebisu talked about a way to get them out of the underworld, but it would require someone from the near shore, and it happened to be that someone had to be human. At that moment, all fingers were pointing towards Hiyori, and that's why I was kind of scared and kind of worried going into this episode, because I was thinking something bad was going to happen to Hiyori as a result of her helping out Yato and helping out Bishamon to get out of the underworld. But that wasn't really the case at all with the whole soul calling thing, and I'm going to be honest, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Like, there was no doubt that the bond between Hiyori and Yato was strong enough for the soul call to work, but with Bishamon and Hiyori, I honestly wasn't really sure whether or not their bond was going to be strong enough for the soul call to work, and it turns out that their bond actually was strong enough and is strong enough for the soul call to work, because when Hiyori yelled out Bishamon's name, her real name, Bishamon was pulled out of the underworld and she was brought back above ground. The whole thing with Yato, though, when Hiyori was calling out Yato's name, and she called it out multiple times, it wasn't working. And Kofuku finally brought it up. She was like, does Yato go by another name? Does he have a real name? And they all said, we don't know. We don't know what his real name is. And we actually find out what Yato's real name is thanks to Hiyori. That light bulb in her head started blinking. She was like, Yabuku, and she yelled it out down the hole. And that scene there after that, where Yato was coming up, was just beautiful. And just a little side note, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but that little itsy bitsy scene with Nora, just, it seemed like she was like falling away or something happened to her. I honestly wouldn't really care if she like died or if just something major happened to her, because I never really liked her in the first place. She's probably my second least favorite character behind Kugaha. Just the shit he did in the first half of Noragami was fucked up, and he even tried doing something this season or this arc, like, fuck you. But Nora, don't really care for her, so if she were to die or if something major was to happen to her, I really wouldn't care, honestly. Just a little side note, like I said. But just seeing Yato reunited with Yukine and Hiyori was awesome, because it's been like, what, 2-3 episodes, maybe even 4, that they have been apart, and just to finally see them back together was awesome. But while all this was going on, Bishamon and her regalias, which they were awesome, they were incredible in this episode. While this was going on, they were fighting off the Heaven's Punishers. I'm just going to call them the Punishers. But they were fighting off them. And I forget the guy's name. His name's like Takamaguchi, or he has some long ass name. But his regalia, Kuin, I believe it was, the dragon that was just firing shit down on the ground. That was fucking sick. Yato, we know, got fucked up in the underworld, but he finds the strength. And Yukine, with the motivation from Yukine, they together literally sliced this pacification circle in half. And it was big as shit. Like, it really was. And they sliced that shit in half. And I went crazy there. Like, oh my god, that was fucking awesome. Just the Blessed Vessel Yukine and the Blessed Vessel Kazuma, I love both of them. And those training sessions between Kazuma and Yukine, they were small, but they really have a big impact. Like, they really do. They bring Yato and Bishamon closer together, and I really, really loved that. In the end, we saw a little bit of the pacification circle under Ebisu, and that look on his face and that look on Yato's face, and then the episode ended. So, bad news in my head for Ebisu. Honestly, like I said at the beginning of the video, I think he's going to pass away 3 times a charm. He was saved once, saved twice. I don't think he's going to be saved the 3rd time, but we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. It was great. God tier. Like I said, once again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen to Ebisu? Do you see him dying? I honestly see him passing away, sadly. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Peace out.